All right. Thank you so much, Buru, Dutch, Blitz,
Thanks.
and Flix for coming to this brand new i.W.A.I.T with European friends. Today I'm making a
Oh,
declaration. i.W.A.I.T is no longer stands for just I'm warned and it's Thursday. It's now stands for I'm warned and it's today. That way we can party every single
Yes.
day.
nice. I like that.
Sweet, I got that.
So, for those of you who probably are interested, wondering why I have five
Aw.
Yahoos are up here on the stage talking, this is i.W.A.I.T. It's the event that I decided to create instead of me just streaming by myself. I thought I would share the love and the kindness that I have felt, just being in VR chat with other DJs, and invite them over to just hang out, have some fun, make some music, and then talk about ourselves afterwards. Because who doesn't like to talk about themselves? Nobody.
Me.
Well, then this might be a bit rough for you. Sorry.
It's whatever.
It's time to suffer.
Yes.
Indeed, suffer time. Have you heard me? I play metal. I'm ready for suffering. Don't worry.
You revel in the
course.
suffering.
Yeah, I'm sure you can take a lot of suffering.
My whole music genre is based on suffering. I literally played a band today called Make Them Suffer.
Oh, no.
That's awesome. All right. So, what's going to work out for Adidas since we got 4 people up on stage? I'm going to ask a question, then I'll just point and call you out individually, and then you'll get a chance to answer. I'll make sure that all of you have equal time to answer the questions. Don't worry, they're not too hard. Like, what's your social security number? No, we're not going to go that way.
041.
I don't even know mine, so good question.
Or is that the serial number on your app?
No, mine is either, so I have to ask you the same thing. Asking me what it is, I'm like, what is it? Yeah.
The fuck is social
I don't know.
security?
Yeah. Something that you won't have when you get old.
Damn.
Yay!
Well,
All right. So, how long have you DJs been DJing for? Let's start off with order of the events for the day. Since Blitz, you were first. How long have you been DJing for?
I guess in the format that I'm doing now, maybe about 2 years, but in general, maybe 4 or 5. Earlier stuff was just kind of screwing around with just random shit, and I did a little bit of live mixing for a while, but then maybe around 2 years ago, I started doing mixing in this longer format. So rather than it just being like single songs, so
Nice. Next in the night was Dutch. How long have you been DJing for?
Yes. I'd say around almost a year.
oh, he's immune.
For real? I don't know.
Yeah, almost a year.
What
You've
month
been
did you,
DJing like you've been 10.
what month did you start?
It was like after. It was actually for Placeholder Club, which made me start.
Yeah, that made me start doing DJ.
Yeah, but what month did you start?
I don't know.
it was. I believe it was PHC1, right?
Yeah. Oh, do you know that?
Yeah, that's actually the
When-
anniversary is actually coming up.
So was it
Yeah.
Ooh.
June-ish or July-ish?
I think June. Maybe.
Where's-
Guru, when was the first PHC?
It was June 26th. June 26th. Case closed.
Okay, then.
There we go.
Wow.
Yeah, since June.
I
Then,
think so. We had a conversation about this a bit ago.
Wow, I started DJing 2 weeks before PhD existed.
Ooh.
PhD is actually
I
one of
thought
the
you were
reasons why
DJing longer than that.
PhD is actually one of the reasons why I continue DJing. Biru, how long have you been DJing for?
Oh, am I next? I don't know. Maybe.
Oh wait, whoa, sorry.
You're not really next, but
actually, whoa, sorry. Yeah, Flex, sorry. My
Man, I'm getting
dumb brain.
forgetted all night. Anyways,
Yeah, Flex. Sorry, Flex. How long you been DJing for?
so mine's complicated. I've been DJing for roughly a year and a half, but I've not been DJing publicly for over 4 months because I was so unconfident. I was so unconfident to do my stuff because I really, yeah, thank you whoever said that. Unconfident. I was really unconfident. Jesus Christ. I was really unconfident with showing people my stuff because I always thought it was bad and I'd always think, oh, this sucks, and I'd just scrap them every time I heard it back. But
Oof.
then I played my first set
Yeah, and then
for
suddenly First
Placeholder
came along.
Club's New Year's set. And I was so grateful to play for such a big event as such a small DJ. But yeah, I've been DJing for around 12, like, I don't know. It's been a while, let's say that. But yeah, I've been DJing publicly for 4 months, yeah.
Ooh, good. And honestly, it feels like you've been doing for a lot longer than that because you are very, very good.
Thank you very much. Thank
And
Absolutely, I agree.
Yep, totally. Yeah.
then back to you, Buru. Sorry.
Okay, so let me start again. It might surprise some, but I'm also DJing for pretty much exactly 2 years now.
Oh
At least
yeah, woo!
actively DJing. I mean, I have practiced a couple years before that. When I was student, I had a little DJ controller and played around with it. But I figured out really quickly that when you study and have exams and stuff, you don't really have the time for practicing DJing for fun. So I stopped that, and then this incident came that changed all our lives, and then I suddenly found time to go back to it, and I started to enjoy it a lot.
Coronavirus! I'm not sure if that's good or not. I don't know if that's good or not.
Honestly, yes.
I mean, thanks to coronavirus, we got the legendary set, so yeah.
Yes.
Well, he's been DJing for what, 2 years, and his setup's like 4K? Okay, then chill. Jesus. I've been watching like real life sets, and they're like full blown budget. You like Krosmaus, the German DJ who just plays raves in his room.
Yes.
Doing it.
Nice.
Who likes Krosmaus one?
Nice. So honestly, like a lot of us have been DJing for like 2 years, quite a few years, and some of us, less than a year. So it's like, it's pretty awesome to see like the progression that of the people, us as DJs, us as people, over the years. Like honestly, I don't think if you asked me like 2 years ago what I'd be doing in 2 years, I don't think you'd ever hear me DJing or running a small little event like this.
Oh my gosh, same. 100% same. I couldn't imagine myself right here and now anyway.
So like, what inspired you to become a DJ? Like, was it the love of music? Was it you watching other DJs? Like a lot of people say Porter Robinson for some reason, inspires them to DJ.
Yeah!
I still have no idea who this guy is.
Me neither. You're not alone. So we're gonna go ahead and just reverse the order now. So Budu, what inspired you to start DJing?
Nice. Ooh, I think there were quite a few things. Like you said, my passion for music, especially hardstyle and all the harder styles of music, and also when I was younger in school, I had a good friend who was DJing back then for internet radio, and every weekend we went into his basement and had great parties, and that's where I kind of fell in love with all the technology, the DJ stuff. Back in the days we still had the real turntables and real vinyls, and then we slowly upgraded to the CDJs and stuff like that. And second was, like I said, when COVID started, I was watching some live streams of DJs like, what was the name? Dang, forgot it. Ravine. from the UK, and he did daily live streams, drinking a lot of vodka. It was like, it looks kind of fun. Let's try this as well. Without the vodka. Okay, now it's Burmeister. Okay, but first of all, I wanted to learn DJing and then go to the fun parts. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah.
Nice. Looks, what inspired you to start DJing?
Me? Alright, it's a real long story because I got inspired to DJ by a little club that means a lot to me, and it's called i.W.A.I.T, and it's run by a good friend of mine. And ever since, I remember I went to first ever Vibe Night, and Misha did his own house set. I was like, yo, this is so cool, I'm gonna do it. But I had no EDM genres, I was just a big metalhead at the time. And I just remember I thought, screw it, let's try metal. There's no metal DJs out there. There are, but I didn't know that. So I was learning it. And the reason why I didn't DJ publicly for so long was because I was learning that genre. And I was going on so long. And then, what was it? 21 hits around April this time, actually. Mm-hmm. And there's one event that also plays at that time. It's called Secret Sky. And Secret Sky opened my eyes from DJs like Lil Texas, Virtual Self, Porter Robinson, and even non-DJs like James Ivy. They just really brought me out to do DJing and whatnot. And that's where I started to really understand what I was doing. And I kept on focusing and keeping on going on. And then I realized I was getting nowhere with it, and then Ferality rolls around, and Fetus Grinder starts playing his set. Shout out Fetus Grinder. I'm like, screw it, I'll give it one more try. And then 2 months later, I'm playing my first event. And so it's a real long story. That's how I started DJing over the course of 8 months. I'd say over those 8 months, I was really starting out, and now I'm just in it. I'm just DJing. It's just the way I do it.
And that was Ferality Luma, right?
No, it was actually Legends. I didn't go to Luma because I was broke. But yeah, that's how it went. It was brilliant. I loved that set. Nice. It's definitely one of my favorite sets ever.
Nice. Dutch, when inspired you to start DJing?
I mean,
I was punching the phone direct.
I'm looking at like a mirror, so
oh, okay. Fair enough.
It's really the love of the music, especially the hard dance scene, the hard dance music scene, is what I've been in there for like 13, 14 years now, and it has always interested me to become a DJ, but I don't know, I just never took the step. And like after Ferality Luma, I saw so many people having so much joy, and I wanted to bring that to them. And yeah, it's also like because of a DJ that was there, that he played at Ferality Luma as well, Kuruxa. Yeah.
The spinning of that metal finger.
But yeah, he really made me take that step towards DJing, and yeah, I really appreciate it.
All right. Yes.
It is you've lost Brutal.
Butatsu.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where'd Buru go?
He should be back, hopefully. Let's.
Hopefully.
Yo, it's Kurutatsu!
Kurutatsu! Yo, what's up, Kurutatsu? I loved your mid-tempo set.
Yeah. So, Blitz, what got you inspired to start DJing?
Ironically, it's almost a combination of all of these stories. Essentially, I had been following years ago. I think 2013. I had started following this event in Second Life, the MSN series, and like I really really liked the music that I was hearing, and always kind of was like, "Fuck, I'd love to be able to do that," but never really even approached trying. And then one day, I just on a whim, my father handed me an old school, Denon CDJ unit, and was like, "Go, my child, do something with this." And so,
Yay,
I
Denon.
carry that thing.
We have Kuruk's at the
Yo, Karuksa, when did you get
welcome back, Kuruksa.
Oh boy.
But yeah, carried that through college. Carried that through college. Did my first set there. It was ass, but it kind of gave me the love for doing it. So from there, I kind of just did random shit for a couple years, and then one day, Karuksa hits me up out of fuck nowhere with just, "Hey, do you want to play a 30-minute live set?" And then PHC happened.
Nice.
Awesome.
This is kind of cool to see how like a lot of us DJs, some of them are inspired in this game, this event, or other events that are ran together. Just really, really awesome. Now, as far as like DJs, like all of us right now have some probably pretty awesome DJ tech, like what decks you use. Currently, what decks are you using at this point in time? We're actually going to go ahead and start off with Dutch.
I have no deck. I use virtual DJ. I use keyboard and mouse.
Boo!
No. That is perfectly fine.
He's one of those, EJ.
We hate non-live mixing DJs. Don't talk about my.
Behave. No, like I want to prove like you all heard Dutch Fox's set. No deck, keyboard and mouse, freaking banger. You do not need a deck to DJ. You need a good software and a good computer.
Absolutely.
But Pikmin.
And creativity.
Yep.
I'm gonna contradict that second part because I do all of my mixing exclusively in Audacity with nothing else. I swear to God.
Hey, it still
Is
it
Brewer
works.
the only live mixer?
I cannot afford a deck, so I just never bought one. I also can't afford virtual DJ, so I never bought one.
It's free!
It's free. What?
It's free!
The trial version is free.
I know it's free, but if I were to use it, I would want to use it with a controller, and I can't afford to pay for it.
We might have to fix
I
that
go.
sometime. No,
Just reign your superiority
Sorry,
over all of us. It's fine.
Come on, Voodoo. What you got? Tell us what you got.
Me? Nine?
You can do it on your
Okay.
Yeah, virtual
Oh God, he's got a whole list to run down.
interface.
Yeah, so now I have the flags here. I got the Denon SC6000 players and Alan and Heath Zone DB4. Wait, I have to turn him off because...
Yeah. That's what I use.
Nice. Now, bro.
No software. Standalone.
Nice.
Okay.
Flux, what do you use to DJ?
Weirdest answer, but I practice on controller and I practice with like hardcore trap and I use hardcore trap, dubstep. I practice on a DDJ 200 from Pioneer, but I do my actual sets in Premiere Pro.
What?
I do my sets in Premiere Pro because there's no BPM in it, and if there's a BPM in it, I'd have to keep on changing the BPM and it messes me up. I do all my sets in Premiere Pro, and that's where I do all my metal stuff. Well, why are you all booing me if I'm doing my stuff in Premiere Pro? It's
Very
not like
interesting,
it's
though.
buy a metal set you listen
No, it's
to.
not booing, but I mean,
no,
it's
no
not
booing.
even an
Don't worry,
audio
I
software.
side with you. You don't need
I'm
DJ
seeing some
software to
thumbs
DJ.
down in the
Yeah,
crowd.
like literally, no booing. Like honestly, you heard how awesome his set was without DJ software. Seriously, you do not
Facts, anyone can
need
do
anyone can do it. You do not need DJ software to prove it. That's one of the reasons why I have this event here, and the questions I'm asking is to prove to people, you do not need to have $1,000 deck to DJ. You do not even need to. You need a computer at the very least, and some software. But find out what makes
I saw a finger.
what works for you, and start. What did you? Now that was a good transition or segue to the next question. What equipment did you start off with? So, unfortunately, Dutch and Pick, we already know it's keyboard and mouse. But what did you start off with, Buru? You said like vinyls and.
Dennis.
No. That was my friends. I did not.
Oh, wait, oops.
I tried to use them, but I was too afraid to like bend the needle or something, so I didn't touch that stuff. The very first controller I practiced on when I was a student was a Newmark Mixtrack Pro, like the cheapest used controller I could find, and the first one that I actually used 2 years ago was the Pioneer DDJ 400, which I still have and use when I go mixing mobile, like when I don't want to transport all my heavy stuff, then I have my little controller, record box on my laptop and go with that.
Man, what did
Sweet.
you said? You have a DDJ 200. Is that what you started off with?
What I started off with was still just Premiere. I actually I started off with Premiere and I'm still using Premiere, and I got the DDJ 200 later on, and I still don't even use it for recording. I just practice with it. I use Record Box because that's what came with it. That's literally my cheap. Oh, and can I mention that I got the DDJ 200 for 50 quid on Spot, bro. 50 quid
Nice.
with Record Box and a DDJ 200. Get
Nice.
out of town. Give me that deal.
You need a lot of money for a little controller, come on.
Exactly.
I'm broker than you think.
Props for the Mixtrack Pro, though. I dig that. The Mixtrack Pro is a sick controller.
Yes.
Love
It
that.
was back in the days, and the newer ones from Newmark, they are still pretty nice because they are basically from the same company that also makes the Denon gear. So can't
Exactly.
compare it to the old
First
ones.
class.
The first one was like a crappy piece of plastic. Well, it sucked, but whatever.
And of course, it evolves and whatnot. Yeah.
All right. So as far as like genres that we played today, Buru, you played French core, hard style. Dutch, you like to play. You played this hard raw stuff, flex, freaking metal all the way. You played drum and bass today.
Hell yeah, brother.
Blitz. What genres are you capable of playing, or have you played? Let's go with Dutch first.
I started off playing some like more milder genres just to like test things out. I was still new, so I was like, I didn't want to start it off with like all the great songs that I had in mind. So I just wanted to practice with other genres first, and then later on I rolled into the art style, and yeah, I just love art style so much, so I'm gonna keep on doing art style.
Yeah, I love the doof doof.
Nice.
Definitely.
All right, let's go to Lex. Have you tried mixing anything other than metal?
I have been for how many? I think I've been practicing on metal for maybe 18 months, and I've been practicing on no other genre for 18 months. I have done metal, eat, breathe, sleep metal. The whole time I've just been doing metal. But I listen to so many more stuff, but I've never thought of DJing it. However, heads up, exclusive information. Recently, I've been starting to learn how to play extra raw, so expect some extra raw sets from me in the future. I'm going to be playing that.
Good boy. Good boy.
Doof doof.
Yes.
And it's all
Hell
thanks
yeah.
to this dude. Like that 10-minute set really shifted me. That 10-minute set at Free Fire Friday was literally the whole reason why I'm considering it right now.
Nice.
So, big prop.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Bitter, what genres do you normally play?
Yeah, well, when I started 2 years ago, I was a total hardstyle addict. So that was definitely my first choice because that's the genre I was most familiar with, that I could find music the quickest and use for mixing. And of course, I wanted to master the genre, so I practiced this a lot. Until today, I'm still fucking up transitions because it is actually pretty hard to mix hardstyle tracks compared to, like, I don't know, house, for example. I started to try some other genres like big room EDM house music, and it is somehow easier when you have the extended ones. But yeah, I'm still experimenting with other genres, as long as they are in the electronic range and they have a lot of BPM. Kuro, could you please not distract me like that?
For all the context, you can't see this. Kuruksa is literally just straight up giving us straight middle fingers as we're doing this. It's like, what?
There we go.
Bro, we should have an interview.
Yeah, there we go. Wait. No.
No, we can't.
I gotta switch cameras because that may be against terms of service.
We can't have that. Behave, Kuruksa.
I know, right?
Behave.
Oh god. Okay. Yeah, but when I chose the genres I want to play, I was looking for genres that would work well with big crowds, which are more like on the popular direction, I would say. So, for example, I don't like to play like the raw hardstyle stuff. I'm more into the euphoric and bootlegs and stuff like that. And the same goes with the house genres. I'm mainly looking for remixes of older 80s, 90s, 2000 tracks and stuff like that. Yeah, because I like to play them and people like to listen to them. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Absolutely.
What genres do you like to play? Like, I've heard quite a bit out of you during Placeholder Club sets.
Essentially, I try to do something new with each set that I like play. Normally, like, my older stuff was all UK hardcore, but the kind of thing about UK hardcore is it's a lot of fun, but you also run out of all the good songs really fast. So, like,
controversial.
That's my current issue
100 soul tracks and you can play all of them. They don't get boring.
Yeah, but after doing a set every 2 weeks for a year, like,
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I get that.
But it's only half hour long.
Metal. 18 months.
hey, I'm not tired of it. I just don't ever want to play the same song twice. So, like,
I get that. I get that.
No, totally understand.
So, but so, like, nowadays I'll just, most of the time my sort of loop is spend the first week just listening to whatever, like, YouTube is recommending me, and then put it into a playlist, and then just find the highest quality recordings of all of those that I can get, whether it be buying the albums or whatever, and then just make the set out of that. Although, of course, there's always that horrifying moment when I'm still 20 minutes short after going through all of the stuff that I've got, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
so oftentimes it's just kind of a mishmash.
Yeah, like, this will be an hour long set.
Nice.
You look at the recording. Fuck.
I mean, it literally happened with this set. Like, I spent happened, like I got 40 minutes worth of it and was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed, I'll wake up tomorrow and finish it, and I get back and I literally spent the entire time trying to find 20 more minutes to fill out the rest of the set. I was like,
Oh my god.
where do I go from here?
Well, that do be a pain.
Put some of the tweakers in and you're good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You
The
can never go wrong with the
tweakers.
tweakers.
Where were you 12 hours ago?
Tweakers in. Yeah. Okay.
You didn't ask, sorry.
The tweakers in is literally the EDM equivalent of put the tweakers in is basically the EDM equivalent of put duct tape on it. It'll work.
That's
Fun fact: how he said
notice.
how he's getting everything from YouTube and whatnot. How I started getting my songs, and actually how I'm still getting quite a few new songs, is I have my school alarm. So shuffle metal on my Alexa, and it just scrolls through Amazon Music, and it's like, yeah, have this, and I'm like, yo, wake me up.
wake me up
And
inside.
if I like it, Alexa, what song is this? And then they just tell me.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's just
That's
the way
a way.
it works.
That's a way. Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Very creative.
Bliss's answer actually kind of led into what I'm going to ask next. Because everybody sees like the end result of us mixing the set, the pre-records, the lives. What does your flow look like as far as like doing a DJ set? Like let's say you have an event, this event. How did you prepare, or how would you go about your preparing for the set? We're going to go with Flix first.
Panic.
Nice.
That's how I'm gonna go about it. Apply, get accepted, panic.
After the panicking.
Okay. Okay. After the panic, it's usually all right. For me, it's a lot about first song and final song, because of course that's how you can get quite a lot of people to carry on listening, because it's the first song. It's like, right, this is what most of the set's going to be like, and I usually pick with a song that's either super light and everyone can listen to, a song that everybody knows, or way too heavy to comprehend, and there's no in between of either of them. So I've got that, and I have my own BPM sheet where I just have all the songs that I have with all the length of them, the key, the BPMs, and of course, since it's metal, when the BPM changes, when the key changes, what the end BPM is, what the middle BPM is. I have all this, and I basically just piece it together like a jigsaw. Like, all right, this one goes into this goes into that. I can change key here. I can put the BPM here. It goes down to 130, so I'll change this song until it gets to that hour, and then I usually BPM or close to BPM. What I do is I usually go, right, this is a final song and I can play this. And for a good example, my opening song for my first ever set was something that people... What was my... it was the Too Heavy to Comprehend, and then the final song was something that everyone knew because I played Linkin Park. I won't go up to that. I feel like that's just a good formula for it, but yeah. That's how I go about sets.
Nice.
Oh, and usually practice somewhere in between on live control so I get more ideas. But yeah, that's me.
Nice. Dutch, how do you work on sets?
Slowly, but I normally search on YouTube or SoundCloud for any new releases or new previews, and if I like it, I put it in a track list. And I just continue doing that for a long period of time until I have a list where I can make a mix from. That's basically it.
Nice. Let's. How about yourself? When you're working on a set, how do you do it?
So basically, like as with the previous question, basically I'd spend the whole first week. I'm going based off of the like PHC, I guess, workflow, but spend vast majority of the first week finding the list of songs, and then usually I'll end up with way too many, so I'll spend the next like 3 days or so culling the list, and then spend the day after that finding good versions of all of the songs, and then day before the event, put the entire set together. Vast majority
Day before the event.
yeah, like usually because it's the only time I actually have time to sit down and do it, because it's a weekend, so I don't have to work the next morning. So I'll end up just sit there, like bang out the whole set while also setting up the PhD stuff, and like it tends to work out pretty well. I haven't had an issue with missing a set yet. Like, I haven't been able to not finish.
Find wood quick,
But-
knock on it. Find wood and knock on it.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
I'm knocking on it for Blitz too. I don't want that to happen to Blitz. I've never done that, but I can't imagine how people
There.
feel, so... I don't want to do that. I gotta move closer into the center of my room. I'm standing next to my door. I went to go knock on wood and I just punched my
That
door.
was really weird.
All right. How about
I
you,
went to
Boo?
knock on my wall and walk straight into my bladder.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, don't do that.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a bit of complex.
Like you
the
do
thing is,
pre-record
I'm
them
having.
live, so I'm guessing pre-record them live or like two
I do
different.
both, yes. And actually not so different the way how I'm doing it. What I do is I have like two sources of music. One is my SSD drive that is in one of my players where I have my local music, and I have Beatport Link where I can get music on the fly. And of course I'm looking through new releases every week and check them out. And then I have my Buru Monday stream where I play them and learn if they work or not. And the good ones I will buy and download, and only those are the ones that I actually use for live mixes or pre-recorded mixes at an event. And it depends what kind of event it is. If it's a themed event, for example, if it has a theme, then I try to find music that fits the theme mostly. And if it's not the case, then I'm just going through my playlist. It's sorted by Camelot key, and then just look like, okay, this song, I haven't played this for a while, let's put it in. Or that would fit very good to the other one, put it in. And then I have my prepare playlist. Which usually has a couple more tracks than I would actually play, so I can, while I'm mixing, decide like, okay, now I'm more in the mood for this one or that one, play that one, and yeah, then in the end I have my finished recording or live set.
Nice.
Sometimes
Sweet.
it's just a couple days where I do it, and for F.W.A., for example, I will spend weeks. Like, maybe that track is not so good, maybe replace it with another one, and a lot more thought into that because, like, FW is a giant event and I'm super nervous about it.
You will be
It's just
perfectly
gonna be
fine.
perfect.
I get that, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so happy you're going to FUA. That's going to be sick. Can't wait.
Yeah.
You better upload that. You better upload it. I'll be listening.
Yes, and I'll be at FWA, so I'll be listening to it in person, and you better find me and so I can give you a hug.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely have to do this.
Awesome, dude.
Yep. So, what advice would you give to a brand new DJ, somebody who's like maybe watching, out in the audience here is like, maybe, I can start this, what advice would you give them? Like, which skills should they focus on first, and make sure they get a really good handle on before they go off elsewhere? Let's go with reverse order. Guru.
All right. I think we have already mentioned some points. First of all, gear does not matter at all. It does not matter what gear you use. You can use software, as we heard. You can get a cheap controller like the DDJ 200 or a used Mixtrack Pro. Whatever you can afford, whatever you want to start with, And second is what I said, for example, if you start, then try to start with the genre that you feel comfortable with the most, because then you find tracks easily and you know them, and you can also find a lot of nice tutorials on YouTube how to, like, the mixing basics, like what all the knobs on the mixer do and how you can make the basic transitions, stuff like that. I think, what was it called? Crossfader as a channel, and
I know
as a second one. Yeah, it's very awesome. He also show new gear very nicely.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe the other can add some points.
Yeah,
That's
like
what
I'll
comes to my mind.
someone else on the floor, like, whoever wants to answer that question, like, what advice would you give, or at least suggest that a brand new DJ start off with?
Am I up?
Yeah, you or Dutch or Blitz, whoever wishes to.
I'll go.
I mean, Buru
Oh, wait.
covered it basically. Like, what I would do is just send them like YouTube tutorials of it, Because I don't have a deck, so I don't know. I could use a tutorial myself. So yeah.
I think I got something to say. I know
Alright.
exactly what I'm gonna say. All I have to say is, if I can do it, you can do it. The way that I started out was so horrendous. I do the most horrendous genre to DJ. I do the most weirdest way to DJ because of Premiere Pro and how it's not got BPMs and how it can be inconsistent sometimes. But I have to say, the way that I started out DJing, I started with no tutorials. I started with a genre that was impossible to DJ, and a lot of people remark it as one of the hardest genres. I did it without any material or advice. I just did from what I was hearing and past musical experience. There's so much to cover in metal that there is not much to cover in other stuff. And if I could do everything that's unique about certain genres, like let's say for example in other genres the EQ might be full and you might need to use the EQ a lot more, or there might be a lot of BPM changes and key changes. All of that is in metal. You have lots of that in metal. But if you want to do that genre, you should do it. You should never back down from doing that genre, because let's say for example, I'm not too much into trance. Trance is good, but it's not my thing. If I was to do trance, I would not be able to DJ because I would lose courage and I would lose the passion for DJing. I'd lose the passion for playing people my music, because if you're not enjoying it, the audience aren't enjoying it. And you need to find something that works best for you, and you need to find something that you feel most comfortable with. And yes, you will be ass at the start. You'll be completely garbo at the start, but that's okay because everyone's there at one point. Every single person who starts out DJing doesn't just press the play button and they're incredible. They don't. There's so many steps. I'm still learning. Guru's still learning. Blitz is still learning. Dutch is still learning. Warned is still learning. There's never a day that you're not learning in DJing. So just keep an open mind and keep going, and it'll be all be okay in the end. Paul Robinson reference.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, that's just my advice.
Alright, but you got any words of wisdom for us?
I guess major thing, don't do what the fuck I'm doing. Audacity is an ass piece of software that is not good for DJing. I've just locked myself into this workflow because it works for me, and that's kind of my point with bringing that up, is if you find something that works for you, be willing to stick with it, but at the same time, try other things, because you might find something that works better, that sounds better, and like, don't be afraid to try new things, but also, if you don't like it, don't quit. Just keep trying new shit. Because you may find that, yes, you'll find yourself using the same thing for a long time, but you might also find something else that you like a lot more, a lot further down the line, so...
Can I just say, earlier when you were talking about your gear, I only just realized you said Audacity. I thought you said Ableton. Audacity? Give me a fist bump on all of those hands.
Listen, okay.
Yeah. Audacity. I can't believe that. I can't stand that software. Mad respect. Real good respect.
Genuinely, it is not intended to do any of what I'm doing, and you can kind of hear it in a lot of my sets. One of the best ways to tell is if I change the BPM on something, all of the EQ gets really fucking weird. And I've been trying to find a good solution, and I've found ways to cover it up, but Audacity's just not good at BPM changes at all. And I've gone to using FL Studio to time stretch things and putting back in Audacity so that I can cover up.
I've done that in
Oh my
Ableton.
god.
I've done that in Ableton because in metal it's a really taboo thing. There's like a really unspoken rule about metal DJing, and it's like you can't speed it up too much, because if it gets sped up too much, then the drums start to sound like a tone instead of brrr, it's got to sound brrr, because it's just going that fast, and the vocals will go are going to start sounding like, and you can't speed up a lot because it just does not work. It just does not work whatever you do. So it's kind of taboo to speed it up. But Premiere Pro, that's another thing. If you're learning in Premiere Pro like me, please find another way to speed up or slow down or pitch shift, because when you pitch shift it, it sounds like it's coming through a telephone thing. So all I have to say is 100% use another software for altering the tracks, and use, if you will, if you really want to, use Premiere Pro to piece them together. But don't even use Premiere, just use something different. I'm a wacky person.
I'm just imagining like Alvin and the Chipmunks singing death metal.
That's literally the way it is. That is 100% the way it is. In the past, I've literally done like Barbie girl metal, and I've done. In fact, a very influential DJ suggested that song to me. They were like, "Hey, you should play Barbie girl metal," and it was Loprov, literally one of my DJing icons. And he was like, "Do I have to do it?" And then I played it, and he was like, "Yeah, that was awesome," and people loved it. And that's another thing. Don't be restricted on songs. Literally, just play whatever you feel feels right. If it works, it works.
Definitely.
But yeah,
Like, building on that, it's one of the, I guess, crowd favorites of a set that I played was a song that I was terrified to play because it was an extra tone song, which, if you don't know what that is,
oh my gosh, extra tone.
People fucking loved it. Like, I was shocked, but yes, like, do not be afraid to play something if you think it's going to be controversial. Like, just fucking go for it, because 9 times out of 10 it'll be awesome, and that 1 time out of 10 that it isn't, people are gonna forget by the next song.
Yes.
Oh, I love dancing to it. The sound of a minigun.
Yeah, or they're probably or they're probably just too drunk to even remember something that's currently playing at the moment.
Exactly.
At first, I gotta say, at first, I was really, really, really scared to play super heavy stuff, because I was like, oh, but normal people won't like the heavy stuff. And then I remember I saw Fetus Grinder, and like the thing with Fetus Grinder is he can play any song and people will just go berserk to it. So I was like, all right, screw it. If he can do it, I can do it. So then I started playing like the most disgusting, rancid songs I could find. And that's also building on my point that I said earlier, just play whatever. Just do it.
That's what I love to do as well.
Yeah, I also like to try out how far I can go on my Brew Monday sets towards the end. Like,
yeah,
let's try up tempo. Let's try GPF. Let's try this. Let's try that. And I think, oh my god, when I play this, I'm sure half of the people will leave. Nobody leaves. They all stay, and I'm like, that can't be true.
Yeah,
More and more hype.
400 BPM. No worries. Let's go.
yeah, or they don't leave.
You need to hit
they
them
turn it up.
hostile. You need to hit that hostile hacking at like 1000 BPM. That'd be. I love it when like hardstyle DJs just out of nowhere just go for that 1000 BPM. Sorry about this. My dad's getting mad at me because I'm talking about hardstyle. Doof 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 doof.
Hear him in the background.
Yeah, he's getting mad. Can you hear that? Yeah.
Yes. But now
You're a metal DJ, not a hardstyle DJ. I'm kidding.
yeah. I would actually love to hear you try to DJ hardstyle.
Yes.
Maybe not hardstyle.
Looking forward to it.
Maybe at some point. But right now, I just want to go for the high energy stuff, because I want to bring my chaotic, crazy energy that I have on stage, where I have a full room where I can move from here and move all the way over to here on these decks. I just like to experiment with my space. I just want to carry on playing the heaviest, most high edgy stuff I can, just because I know that people really want that. Because, of course, as I was playing the heavier songs, people at clubs like Placeholder, thank you, Carissa, basically they don't have a energy limit. That's why I want to play the really heavy energy stuff, because I want to see if I can make them run out of energy. And all the time when I finish my sets, from the beginning they're like this, from the end they're like this. They just don't stop. I'm like, when do you stop? I want to play more high energy stuff. I just want to keep bumping out the crazy stuff. Maybe hardstyle at one point, but maybe in like a year or two. But extra raw for now. I'm gonna be playing that crazy stuff.
Nope, totally.
Yeah, crazy
it,
extra raw. I'll try my hardest.
Nice. This is a question I always ask for all the DJs, which is, it was kind of fun. It makes you think. I'll give you some time to think about it. If you were to go ahead and send a message back in time somehow to you when you're first starting off DJing, what message regarding DJing? You can't say go buy Bitcoin, but like what message regarding DJing would you send back to yourself? I'll leave this open
we
to the
start?
floor.
Oh shit.
I'll leave this open to the floor. Whoever wishes to answer, you just raise your hand and go.
I'll go first.
Mhm.
Hey, me in the past. You, yeah. Don't change a thing. Do everything that you've done in the past. Don't change a thing. You're in a perfect position right now, and I'm very grateful for everything that I'm doing right now, for my spot in Ferrari, for my month after month places in placeholder club, for the club that I started at Vibe Night, and finally getting people to go crazy at those, to my sets, to my music, to carry on doing the music that I love playing. I would really not change a thing at the moment. Maybe only one thing I'd change is maybe try and learn DJing faster, but I feel like I'm a strong believer in the ripple effect, that when you do one action, it will change your whole future for those thousands on 10,000 hours that you've got left alive. It will change all of that. And if I were to change, let's say, learning DJing a little bit faster, I might not be in this position right now. And I love this position right now. I'm a very grateful person for where I am.
Yes.
And I really wouldn't change a thing.
Now, I'm going to hold off giving you his answer. I want a follow-up question for him. That is very, very awesome and inspired answer. How young are you?
15.
What?
I'm 15 years old. I'm
Wow,
still going
that's
to school.
awesome.
And I started DJing when I was 13. And
Oh my god.
the first ever Vibe Night I went to was when I was 13. I was on desktop and I was dancing like this on my avatar. Up, down, same old arm position. And I'd be hitting the expressions like that. But yeah, right now I'm 15, and that's why I'm taking a little bit of a break for DJing for the oncoming months, because I have exams to study for, and I have to get my place in college. So sadly, DJing will come to a short hiatus, but after that, I'm cranking out the sets because I do not want to give this up, not for the life of me.
Now.
But yeah, to answer your question, I'm 15 years old, and it is my birthday in July, and then I'll be 16.
Nice. Now, do you mind if I tell the story how I found out how old you are?
How did you?
How I found out how old Flex was is when I first started i.W.A.I.T, he was on one of my short list of getting DJs to get in on the event. And I was like, hey, you want to join? I sent him a message on Discord, like, hey, you want to join i.W.A.I.T? Like, oh, what's the time?
Oh my gosh, no, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was, like, told me that time,
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Then he responded back, like, my parents won't let me stay up that late. And I'm like, your parents? How young are you?
It's 2 a.m. for me, and like my very latest that I'm allowed to stay up, very, 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 very latest, is when I have a long term in school, and when I can literally, it's 2 a.m. I finish a set, headset off, straight up to bed. I got kind of strict parents on the
Nice.
on the like clock side and whatnot, on the time side. So all of my the latest set I've ever done was 1 till 2, and like 7 people came to it. So I was like, oh, brilliant. I'm staying up until 2 to do for 7 people. But it was a good set. It was good. But I feel like, as being 15, you have your limitations, but it doesn't mean that you can't start at, let's say, 2. Spin those vinyls as soon as possible. If it's what you love, and stick at it. And that's what I did. I love it. And that's why I've been doing it in private for 12 months. And then for the final 4 that I did, 14. Yeah. And then for the final 4 that I've done, I've actually started doing it public. I just got to stick at it and whatnot.
Now there's one thing I definitely will be happy to admit. You're the inspiration for this event being on a Saturday.
What can I say? I'm an influencer.
Well, like literally, like
influential person. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like this event.
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Like this event is usually only on Thursdays, but it's like I realize that I have a lot of really good friends who are European that are not going to be up that late. So like, screw it.
And we've got some brilliant DJs who are European and don't want to play it later than 2 a.m. And in Boommaster's case, what, are you 2 hours ahead from me right now because I'm from the UK? That'd be 4 a.m. for this dude.
It's almost 1 a.m. No, 1 a.m.
Nice.
It's
Wait,
almost
that makes no
1.
sense, right?
Yeah, so that'd be starting at 3 a.m. So the latest this dude can play is 3, and that's just not fair. But yeah, Europe is. We've got a brilliant lineup for it, and to be honest, I'd rather have no other person to be on the lineup with Burutatsu, someone who's I've literally loved DJ sets for way over a year. As soon as I joined Placeholder Club, I was fully aware of you, and you're just mental. You're just crazy, and that's why I love you, dude. That's just genuinely because you do such great sets that get people up. I've had people. Or I've talked to people who are like, oh, I'm exhausted after this set. Oh, wait, who's up next? Dutch? Cheers, everybody. Oh, we go. Another straight 30 minutes to an hour.
Nice.
Like, people genuinely get up so much to you guys' set. And that's why if you've heard of my sets before, I always say get up. Or like everybody on those feet. Because I want to see those people on those feet for a genre that no one even thought they would like when I was starting out. When I was starting out, I was like, people won't like metal. It's not supposed to be ZJ'd. And then, of course, first set rolls around. And then I'm alongside Dutch and Blitz on the New Year's event. And it's just, the way it works is just people just want to have a good time to high energy stuff. It doesn't matter what it is. Or even if it's not high energy, he's playing with my ears. He's playing with my ears.
I'm trying to straighten it out. There you go. There you go.
I don't even know what I did.
The whole interview.
I didn't know how. Like for real, I didn't even notice that. I was looking at the screens and whatnot. Fun fact: when you're talking to Buru earlier, me and Dutch were just going like this with your ears. We're just following them about. I didn't want to tell you that, but when we were talking to Buru about his gear, I was just going like this the whole way through.
That's awesome. All right, so now.
But yeah, the reason why I say get up is literally just because I want people to have that energy that they do for Buru, for Blitz, for Dutch. I just want people to get up, have a good time, That's just the way.
All right, so.
Anyways, yeah.
Yep. So, Buru, Blitz, Dutch. What advice would you give yourself? What message would you send back to yourself?
I would say keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great, and you know it.
Recycle those glass bottles.
That's it. Oh yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Maybe another
I
time.
would be the same. I would also say just do everything you did the same way, except for maybe one thing. Use another demo for Reality.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Wait, what? Did you not get into Ferrati?
Keeping us hardstyle DJs down.
Oh no.
Yeah, I should have used another genre or something because yeah.
There's quite a few hardstyle.
Hardstyle is getting more popular.
That sucks. I get that. Wait, haven't you played Ferrati in the past though? Because I swear I remember you playing
The
the
past 3 times, yeah. Maybe that's why.
Exactly. Bro, you killed it those past 3 times.
Definitely.
Right?
How about you, Blitz?
So I remember during Ferality, I went to the musicians meetup, and people have said, "Oh, who's your favorite DJ?" And they've just straight up gone Loprov and Burutatsu. And I've been like, "Wait, who's Burutatsu?" And I remember watching the stream back, and I was like, "Whoa, this guy crazy!" Because you just throw down the whole way through, and I gotta respect that.
Yeah, I had a fun story the last time at Ferality. I was at the DJ meetup and there was a guy and I told him that in my set I will play Frenchcore and he was like, "Oh, Frenchcore, what, it's amazing, I want to listen to this." And then he told me some artist names and I was like, never heard of them, I don't know. And then I was playing and he was joining my world. And after 3 tracks of hardstyle, he left because I think he was expecting something completely different. He was expecting something like metalcore or something like that.
Metalcore, what?
Kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. I just looked up the artist. He told me, and it was more like metal stuff and not really French.
Bro, metalcore is what I meant. Hey, actually, can you send me that? I might be interested.
Yeah,
I'll play it. I will give him justice.
I don't remember.
I will give him justice.
So yeah.
Justice for the arrogant
the next set will be, my flex will be like a metalcore set.
Okay, nice.
I mean, basically most of my sets are metalcore. Like I'd say a good 33%
Yeah.
are.
Hit me
It's
with the
mainly
stuff.
metalcore, deathcore, and then just I don't know, metalcore and deathcore, and then the rest is just weird ass metal. Electronicore actually. I play a lot of electronicore because I like the doof doof in metal. I like playing the
Oh,
doof
boy.
doof doof in metal. That's why I always say get them doof doof hands.
Absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right.
get the doof doof hands in metal.
All right.
It
How about
works
you,
weirdly
Blitz?
well.
What would you send back?
Outside of just like keep doing what you're doing, the belt that you need is a 4mm square belt, and it goes around the inside ring on the denim deck. My deck broke, and that's why I stopped using it.
Interesting advice, but I dig it.
I spent 2.5 years trying to find the belt, and I finally found it, and I have been waiting for it to be shipped here, and it has not shown up.
Oh no.
No, what?
Upsetting. I don't even have the deck anymore. It's at my parents' house.
Well, your card.
Oh my god.
Well,
Well, hopefully the package gets delivered soon.
I hope so.
So wrapping up, do you guys have any like final words, any words of advice? Yeah, actually,
I have to say, oh sorry.
actually, Budo kind of touched on something that I always ask DJs. How do you deal with rejection, like applying for an event or applying for something and not getting accepted? Like, how do you go about dealing with that?
the thing is, it took a while until I got my first rejection, and it was an IRL event, a furry dance. And the problem there was that I was expecting to be accepted because I talked to the coordinator, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, you can play at the event, no worries." And then a couple months later, he told me like, "Yeah, sorry, you're not in," and I was very disappointed. But just because I was expecting to be there, for Virality, for example. To be honest, I was kind of expecting to be not accepted because, like I said, there's a lot more competition in the hardstyle genre, so it would have been more intelligent for me to use another genre or something. But at this point, I would like to give other DJs that are like newcomers the chance to have a slot and to introduce themselves to a big audience, because Buru is well known in the furry fandom, so that's totally fine. I'm very cool with this.
Thank you, Buru.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. And does anybody else want to pitch in on that?
I gotta say, mine has to kind of branch off of Buru's and how he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna let new DJs have a chance." Listen, just because you don't know the DJ. Listen to their sets. It doesn't mean that they're a bad DJ if you've never heard them before. There's been so many people who have been like, "Oh, I've missed your sets in the past, but I thought I'd finally give it a try." I'm grateful that you've given it a try, but it's the fact that you've had the opportunity to do it and you've completely missed it. It's not that I'm against that. It's just there are so many young talents out there that need to be discovered that don't have the platform to be discovered. I am so damn lucky that I got such a big event for such a big club with such a big collaboration so early on in my DJing career. I played probably the biggest event I've played yet, and I'm so grateful that I just went straight to, quite a big audience and whatnot. But yeah, just don't say, "No, I'm not going to listen to that guy because of their genre," or don't say, "I'm not going to listen to that guy because I've never heard them before." And it's been like that because, of course, I was purist metal for ages. I was like, metal or nothing. And then I rolled up to a PHC once, and I was like, "Oh damn, Crux's mid-tempo is kind of getting hard. And then I got Brutatsu and Dutch playing the hard style and raw style, and I was like, okay. And then there's people like Stitcheroo who do such like electro swing, and you think electro swing, how's that going to be DJ'd?
Oh, amazing.
And then
It is. Oh,
this guy.
it's the
I love
way
his
that there are
sets.
some genres. Yep, right there. You can see it right there. But I gotta say, there's so many DJs that DJ stuff you can't even imagine exist, and giving us listen to those sets are so crazy. Like one of my friends showed me another set a while ago, and it was all emo music, but it was like over EDM producers. So it was like Panic at the Disco over Porter Robinson, and then like it was like Silverstein over people like Skrillex and whatnot. It was crazy. I was just hearing all this, and it was like mashup, but it's exclusively emo mashup. It's just, do not give it a miss because of their genre or because of their experience. You just need to listen, and everything that you're doing right now is, or that you like right now, is because you've given it a chance. So why can't you give other things a chance? Just keep on trying out new things. Don't ever be closed-minded to.
Anybody else got anything to add on to
Uh,
I just realized the
Not
question was
really.
about rejection, and I just went on about personal advice.
Yeah, but it was awesome advice.
It was awesome.
Seriously.
Very good advice. Yes.
Wait, I'll quick go on. I'll say rejection for like 10 seconds. Bounce back. Do more applications. There's always next time. Full stop. All right, next
There we
DJ.
go.
yeah, like Flick said, just like keep on going. Just too bad. Try next time. Just keep on practicing and get good.
Anything to add to that, Blitz, or?
I guess just take the rejection as an indication that you need further work and further practice, and use it as a reason to continue, not as a reason to stop.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Also,
100%.
Also, one thing you can say too is, if you get rejected, reach out to the DJ coordinator for the event, because if they are worth their salt,
Feedback,
they'd be able to give you the feedback you're looking for. Like, why didn't I get in? Like, well, we had 15 hardstyle DJs and we only could accept 4. You know,
15 hardstyle DJs. Oh my gosh, that is a good name. You're getting each subgenre of hardstyle. You're getting hardstyle, UK hardstyle, German hardstyle.
UK hearts.
You get in. It's like, I don't know. I just heard UK original.
Euphoric, bootlegs.
Euphoric, bootlegs, yeah. Raw style, extra raw, even though that's kind of off the tracks. It's still a style. I don't know.
Doof
Just
style.
noise.
Style,
The noisy
Wait,
style.
Noisy style. Ooh, that's called I've heard that genre is called metal. Lots
We also have
lots
the,
of
in the electronic
noise.
genres, like uptempo can be so noisy that
Oh my gosh, uptempo is so
Absolutely, yeah.
crazy, but I do like it.
Yep. And then also for those DJs out there, like, you know, don't always try to apply for the big events. Apply for the small events. Like, i.W.A.I.T is always recruiting for DJs. You know, if any of you guys have a friend who wants to join in on this, join the Discord. Hit me up on Discord. Hit me up on Twitch. You know, this is effectively would be a good stepping stone for some DJs. Like, if you, I don't care if you beat match right. I don't care if your key is right. All I care about is that you're going to bring to this your passion for the music and your love and enjoyment, and the also that you are willing to be a nice person, and also accept constructive criticism, because I want you to improve. You know, like, I do not want you to stay stagnant.
Exactly.
Like,
That's a huge thing. Like, For the love of God, if you get rejected from a big event, don't take it as like I need to stop. Just play something smaller. Play a bunch of small events. Build your resume. It is very good for that makes you look very good like further down the line for when you're going to reapply to the big event. 'Cause then you'll have a ton of people backing you up.
Yeah.
From
and
experience, or actually really recently, I have to say there was recently an event called Free Fire Friday, and it was run by a good friend of mine called Jackal. And he played there, I played there, we did our stuff and whatnot. But there was also this one person who played, who's a personal friend of mine, and we're good friends in school. He's called Inverse, and he played techno for the first time there, and he rocked it. And because
Techno.
he got accepted, he didn't. Well, it wasn't because if he didn't get accepted to that event, he was going to stop. He just said that he really loves playing techno, and now he wants to experiment in psytrance and all this other stuff. And I see my bro's really got some potential. So I gotta say that you gotta be like my bro and carry on going. You gotta keep on putting in the work forever. I see him right here. What's up, bro? He giving me the heart.
nice.
Just rolled in, I
That's
think.
my guy right there.
Nice. So we've
But
been,
yeah, he's got stuff ahead of him.
so we've been at
Definitely.
this for about almost a little over an hour. So any last words or any last things that you would like to add before we wrap up the night?
Peace
Thank
out,
you
metal
for this
forever.
event. Thank you
Yeah,
for this event.
thank you very
and, yeah, most of all, yeah.
Thank you for this event. Yeah, I finally get to play i.W.A.I.T without it being 2 a.m. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, without you guys.
And cheers, of course.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't have a
cheers.
drink.
But
Neither do I.
Oh, I do. I have a cup of tea.
Pretend
Cup of tea.
God damn it.
it.
Oh, yeah, this is what Europe's all about. Cup of tea.
And there we go.
but thank you again so much for all of you for agreeing to come to the i.W.A.I.T. Like you could have you could have said no. I got something else to do. But I'm grateful that all of you are able to be here. As it's humbling to think that there are people out there who have this much skill, who would be willing to come to an event like myself.
Stop! You're making me red.
well, you are wearing a red scarf. So.
I mean, drip to the feet. I'm sorry, but yeah. Peace out, metal forever.
Yeah.
Always listen to heavy stuff. Heavy stuff is fun. Final words.
Yeah, rawr.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, all of you. So i.W.A.I.T will again resume its regular scheduled scheduling. Let's see. I think OBS decided. Yep, OBS decided to poop the bed. And OBS.
Maybe it'll carry on.
Oh, there we go. It's actually back. So.
Yay.
Up next for the next i.W.A.I.T, which will be 7 p.m. Mountain Time Thursday night, is going to be myself. You're messing with my ears. I can see it. Whatever.
Can you knot them together?
Quick, tie them in a knot. Tie them in a knot while he's not looking.
Tie him in a bow. But it will be Call Me Letty, Otter Space, and then myself. So we're as far as the genres, we're going to be doing progressive house, new disco, and
Perfect timing.
bass house.
Hell yes.
Yay.
And then the week following is for FWA Fairy Week Atlanta. There will be no i.W.A.I.T for that weekend. Because I'll be on a plane.
Oh, no.
No, I
Yay. No, i.W.A.I.T. Rip Bozo.
But you guys will have plenty of other events to deal with. Hopefully.
I'll cry.
But this is a good event. I'd love to do this
Absolutely.
again, or at least a European song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
the
too
plan.
much up
Definitely
for
have
the
to
2
do a
a.m.,
second edition
but
of this.
European, absolutely.
Yeah, and
Definitely. Let's
also
go.
just from the but also from the European perspective, like I tried converting and figuring out like American how Americans are versus Europeans. Did I start the event off too early? Should I have waited about 2 hours for it to start?
I would say, yeah, about like 1 or 2 hours later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Well, I.W.A.I.T is always a consistently constant, evolving thing. And any of you guys who are in the Discord, I do have a Discord. I should probably put on my Twitch. It's actually in my bio on VR chat. If you have any feedback, any ideas of how I can improve this, make this better, please use the feedback channel. I cannot improve myself if I do not know where I'm lacking. I can think of I can think myself that this is not doing good, and if nobody else says otherwise, literally in life in general too, it's try to get that feedback from anything. You're never going to know how to improve if you don't know where you're lacking.
True.
Yeah, definitely. That's true.
But again,
Exactly. Yeah.
again, thank you again so much for all of you very marvelous, wonderful people. Honestly, I'm
Group hug.
yeah, group hug. Honestly, I think I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try for an i.W.A.I.T with European friends every month.
Every month, damn. I don't think I can play every month. Absolutely.
But we have plenty of people that I can recruit for it, and then maybe not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but not do the Thursday event for that week. Just push back until the i.W.A.I.T for. Because man,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
This week I DJ'd 4 times. This week for i.W.A.I.T. i.W.A.I.T. I ran this event, and then I'm DJing for another event of birthday parties for a bunch of my friends. So it's been a busy week.
Oh my gosh, busy week.
That's next week, and that's a lot for me.
Man, I got 2 sets a month.
Yeah, but those 2 sets are.
My sets feel like it takes.
You go for quality, not quantity.
Yes,
absolutely. I say I spend at least 6 or 8 hours on my sets, and it just takes forever and ever because I'm such a perfectionist. I was like, oh, does this work? Does this work? If this doesn't work in the slightest way, it's not getting on. I just need to find the best way each time, and that's why it takes so long.
I've used to be that
and
way.
It sucks to DJ.
When I first started DJing,
I get that.
that was me, where I had to be, exactly perfect, and recording. Now it's like, oh shit, that was a mistake. Well, let's try to cover that up and go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Just EQ that
when
out.
I said it sucks to DJ, I meant it sucks to DJ metal. It doesn't suck to DJ anything else, really. Metal is hard, but it's fun once you know how.
Yeah, that's one thing I actually been kind of doing to challenge myself, and you should try it yourself too. Is I have Beatport Link like Buritasu does, so I will literally go to the top 100 list for the genres and tell virtual DJ to record that or to get a beat grid and get the keys for those, and then I will just do a set. Not even listening to the tracks beforehand.
Go for it.
There we go.
Pop off, King.
And sometimes it sucks. And other times you get it and you're like, holy shit, this is a banger. Write this down.
I get that all the time. For me, it's that sweet 90 BPM. I don't know why, but But if you want a successful song, just make 90 BPM and I will play it because I love that BPM so much. It's all that beat stuff up genre. I mean, not genre, BPM. Oop.
What?
But yeah.
All right. Any last? I know I already asked this, but any of the last things you want to add? Since
Another cheers!
Thank you all for coming.
Yes. Thank you all. Cheers. Thank you all for coming. Without the audience, for when the music was actually playing, we would not be here. Thank you again so much, audience. For, even for all those who are just staying around who probably didn't know what the interview part of the poster
We would be nothing without you guys.
That is truth. Yeah. The truth has been spoken.
Absolutely.
Final words. Where can they find you? Like, what are your socials? Burutatsu, what are your socials?
Yeah, twitter.com/burutatsu, twitch.tv/burutatsu. I also have a link tree, burumeister.de. There's everything. Like my Discord and everything. Yeah.
Mixcloud as well, right?
Mixcloud, yes. It's also Burutatsu and Telegram, so
Nice.
you should find me.
How about you, Flex? Where can they all find you?
Okay, I have to say, there's only one thing I want to shout out, and that's all hail, Big Flopper. That's it. You'll find me elsewhere. You'll find me at one point. But shout out Big Flopper.
Come on, I know you have a Mixcloud. What's
I don't know, DJ Flicks on Mixcloud, I guess. DJ Flicks on Mixcloud. I don't do a lot of sets. I do them maybe like once or twice monthly. But yeah, just look out for them. And yeah, absolutely. Oh, and if you want, it's DJ Flicks on Twitter. Yeah, that's me.
Nice. Dutch, how can they
Oh,
find
we
you?
got Shade. Hi, Shade.
Oh, we have Dutch Fox NL on Twitter and basically on Mixcloud. I'm called Dutch Fox. Very easy. It's just my name.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Blitz.
Discord and Mixcloud and also Bandcamp. Mixcloud and Bandcamp, it'll both be Pikmin205.
Bandcamp?
Yeah.
Fucking, what was it? Discord is Pikmin205 followed by the hash 0T05.
Nice.
Very easy to remember.
Nice. All right. Thank you again so much for all you wonderful people. We're going to go ahead and sign off. Until next I wait. We wait together.
See ya.